I'm Greg Morton from Online Systems. Many thanks to Carlisle Ambassadors for coming down and seeing us today. We've been a member of the group for quite a while now. It's great for us as a business, it's great for us as a local business. It allows us to engage with like-minded people who, like us, care deeply about the local business scene in Carlisle and North Cumbria. We find it advantageous for a range of reasons, but one of the key things being that we have the links into the local businesses where we're all heading for the same goal and the same destination. COVID's created some challenges. We're quite fortunate, unlike some of the retail businesses, we aren't dependent on that face-to-face contact with people all the time. So, because we do so much to do with the infrastructure within the UK for data and for comms, we have a recurring revenue that sits underneath things that allows us to function, albeit with a skeleton team, and allows us to, in essence, keep the lights on. The future for us is positive. I'm really hopeful that we can use this as an opportunity in which to actually do better. I've spent a lot of the last 3 months looking at our own efficiencies and what we can do better, looking at our own processes, looking at the way in which we operate, looking at the way in which we engage with clients. It's forced people to communicate in different ways. Advantageously for us is the fact that we sell the products that people are using, but it's also made us reevaluate what we do and the way in which we engage with people. Communication is key. One of the things that technology does create is a vehicle for people to hide and people not to communicate face to face and people not to talk to each other. And interestingly, with video and just with people picking up the phone calls, the phone and talking to people, we've seen there's been a massive amount of improvement in communication from clients and also from us. Our call traffic, which historically over the last 10 years has been on a gradual decline, has actually peaked over the last 2 to 3 months to levels that we haven't seen for a number of years, because people are picking up the phone and talking to each other, which is great for us. The future also includes just restructuring the way in which we operate, in which to accommodate the new normal, whatever that happens to be. But also, I think being a lot more patient and understanding of other businesses and the situations that they're in. I know it's got to be tough being in retail and hospitality, and we're looking at things constantly of how we can improve that for these businesses, to using technology in which to make their life a bit easier. And it allows us to work with other businesses by being a part of someone like Carlisle Ambassadors, so that we can work with these guys and get introduced directly to decision makers in other businesses, in other sectors, so that we can actually work collaboratively to deliver a solution that works for everyone. Yeah, staffing's been a real challenge. In fact, I would say staffing has been probably the toughest challenge. Our clients have been great and understanding. Everybody's in the same situation, so I think everybody kind of has a certain empathy for each other. From a staffing point of view, first of all, it's making decisions about which staffing you need. We've furloughed a number of staff and kept the guys that we need to function at a bare minimum initially, but then as time has gone on, we're trying to bring back more and more staff as we go. Everybody's been initially working from home for the first 6 weeks of the lockdown. I was literally the only person in the office. Everybody else worked from home apart from engineers who needed to come in and get stock to go out to site. We have a small team now in the office, so of the 30 staff that are working this week, I probably have 6 in the office at any one time. we're obviously doing the social distancing internally, ventilation, windows open, making hand sanitizer available, just all the usual things that you do. But again, in itself, by default, humans like to congregate and like to talk to each other, and you forget these things. By trying to make things normal, people revert back to what the old normal was. So, I mean, what we're trying to do is to just try and find that balance so that we are engaging, but we're doing it in the right way. And that will continue to be a challenge over the coming months. We're waiting, everybody's waiting for somebody else to spend the first pound. Once we start getting that economy moving forward and people spending some money, that'll feed back into what we're doing, and then also allow us to then bring more staff back in so that we're back up to full capacity as soon as possible. So for us, communication is as usual. People get hold of us on our normal number, through our website. One of the great things that we've learned is that the contact for our staff and the technology that we have available to us nowadays allows us to function as normal. I mean, our support team is fully manned. They are inundated. What has become inherent is that the infrastructure throughout the UK is under immense pressure with everybody working from home. The data requirements, the internet requirements are through the roof. They're at levels that have never been seen before, and that's putting a real strain on things. So we have the guys working incredibly long hours and incredibly hard through the day in which to keep everybody ticking. The last thing we want to do is to let down another business because of resource, so we've thrown everything into the support team and are operating at full capacity with that. Communicate with us in the same way, be it, as I said, through website, email, or telephone. We'll get through it together. The key thing is that we communicate and that we help each other out. Always here, always willing to help. Happy to do anything we can to help any member of Carlisle Ambassadors or any business in what we can do and what we can achieve to get through this. Looking forward to coming to the end of it at some point, whenever that happens to be. More likely months than weeks, and have a beer and talk about it, and also share the experiences that we've learned.